Imagine a network of ancient pathways stretching thousands of miles across continents, connecting the East with the West. This was the Silk Road. It's not just a trade route, but a vibrant artery through which ideas, cultures, and innovations flowed, shaping civilizations for centuries. Picture vast deserts, towering mountains, bustling ancient cities, and slow-moving caravans of camels, carrying the treasures of one world to another. This wasn't a single road, but a complex web of routes that formed the first great global network, a testament to humanity's enduring quest for connection and commerce. It was the original World Wide Web, a physical link that brought distant peoples face to face, changing them and the world forever. Before the Silk Road became the legendary superhighway of its time, trade was mostly local, but in the 2nd century BCE, that began to change. The story of the Silk Road's official beginning starts with a man named Zheng Qian. In ancient China, the powerful Han dynasty, led by Emperor Wu, was constantly threatened by the nomadic Xiongnu tribes to the north. Seeking allies, the emperor dispatched his trusted diplomat, Zheng Qian, on a perilous journey west into the unknown territories of Central Asia. His mission was to forge an alliance. What he found was so much more. Though he was captured and held prisoner for over a decade, Zheng Qian eventually returned to the Han court with incredible tales of sophisticated civilizations, powerful horses, and exotic goods. His reports ignited the emperor's imagination. He didn't just bring back intelligence, he brought back the map to a new world of possibilities. The Han dynasty, with its military might and stable government, then began to secure and expand these routes, providing the safety and infrastructure needed for long-distance trade to truly flourish. Zheng Qian's harrowing expedition had, almost by accident, unlocked the gateway between East and West, officially laying the foundation for what we now call the Silk Road. Now, you might be thinking it was all about silk, and you're not wrong, silk was the star of the show. To the Romans, this shimmering, lightweight fabric was more valuable than gold. It was a symbol of ultimate luxury and status. But the caravans traveling these arduous routes carried so much more. From China came not just silk, but also delicate porcelain, fragrant tea, and spices that tantalized the palates of the West. Crucially, they also carried world-changing inventions like paper and, later, the secrets of gunpowder. In the other direction, heading east towards China, came magnificent horses from the Fergana Valley, prized for their strength and speed in battle. Caravans were also laden with gold, silver, precious stones like jade and lapis lazuli, fine glass from the Roman Empire, and exotic fruits like grapes and pomegranates that were entirely new to China. These goods weren't just luxuries for the elite. They profoundly reshaped economies. New industries were born, diets changed, and the desire for these foreign goods fueled exploration and expansion, weaving the daily lives of people across Eurasia into a single, sprawling economic tapestry. But perhaps the most valuable cargo carried along the Silk Road was something you could hold in your hand. It was ideas. This ancient network was a superhighway for culture, philosophy, and religion. One of the most significant ideas to travel these routes was Buddhism. Originating in India, Buddhist monks traveled with merchant caravans, carrying scriptures and teachings eastward. When Buddhism arrived in China, it profoundly transformed the cultural and spiritual landscape. Blending with local traditions like Taoism and Confucianism, it didn't stop there. Islam also spread along these paths, carried by Arab traders and conquering armies into Central Asia and Western China, where it remains a dominant faith today. And it wasn't just the major world religions. Smaller faiths, like Nestorian Christianity, Manichaeism, and Zoroastrianism, also found new followers in the bustling oasis cities along the route, creating a remarkable mosaic of belief systems. The Silk Road proved that ideas, once unleashed, could travel just as far and have an even greater impact than any physical commodity. Alongside faith and philosophy, technology and knowledge flowed freely. Imagine the moment when papermaking, a closely guarded Chinese secret, finally made its way west. It revolutionized communication and record-keeping, laying the groundwork for the European Renaissance centuries later. Other groundbreaking Chinese inventions like printing, the compass, key, and gunpowder followed a similar path, each one fundamentally altering the course of world history. But the exchange wasn't a one-way street. Medical knowledge from India and Persia enriched Chinese medicine, while advancements in astronomy and mathematics from the Islamic world and beyond were shared across continents. This intellectual cross-pollination is also visible in the art and architecture left behind. In the caves of Dunhuang, you can see Buddhist murals painted with Greco-Roman influences. In the architecture of Samarkand, you see a stunning fusion of Persian, Indian, and Chinese styles. The Silk Road wasn't just a place of trade. It was a grand, continent-spanning university where civilizations learned from one another. Of course, a journey along the Silk Road was anything but easy. It was an epic undertaking fraught with peril at every turn. Merchants and travelers had to brave the scorching heat of the Taklamakan Desert, a place whose name translates to "you go in, but you don't come out." They had to navigate treacherous mountain passes in the Pamirs, known as the Roof of the World. Beyond the natural dangers, there were bandits waiting to ambush caravans and the constant threat of political instability as empires rose and fell. To survive, travelers relied on a string of vital oasis cities, vibrant hubs that appeared like jewels in the vast emptiness. Cities like Samarkand, Kashgar, and Dunhuang became bustling cosmopolitan centers where goods were traded and cultures collided. These cities were alive with a diverse cast of characters. You would find Sogdian merchants, the master traders of the Silk Road, alongside Persians, Arabs, Indians, Turks, and Chinese. It was in these melting pots that the true spirit of the Silk Road came to life, a world where people from countless backgrounds met, bargained, and shared their stories, creating a truly globalized community long before the modern era. So, what happened to this incredible network? By the 15th and 16th centuries, the Silk Road's golden age began to wane. A major factor was the rise of maritime trade. New advances in shipbuilding and navigation made sea travel faster, cheaper, and safer than the long and dangerous overland journey. It was simply more efficient to transport bulk goods by ship. At the same time, the political landscape was changing. The collapse of large, stable empires like the Mongol Empire led to political fragmentation. The once protected routes became more dangerous as local rulers vied for power, making long-distance land travel increasingly difficult. The rise of the Ottoman Empire also created a barrier between Europe and Asia. But the decline of the routes did not mean the end of their influence. The Silk Road had already done its work. It had permanently linked East and West, fostering a level of cultural and economic interdependence that the world had never seen. Its legacy is the very idea of a connected world, a concept that continues to define our lives today. From shimmering silks to profound philosophies, the Silk Road was far more than a collection of dusty trails. It was a bridge between worlds, a dynamic network that brought together the great civilizations of Eurasia, forever changing them in the process. It taught us that the exchange of goods is inseparable from the exchange of ideas, and that human connection has always been a powerful force for progress and innovation. The Silk Road reminds us that human connection and the exchange of ideas are as old as civilization itself. Its echoes still resonate in our interconnected world today. What other ancient networks do you think shaped our present? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures into our shared past.